love about visiting wonderful places like this is, as I say, the history that's around it, you know. And I know many of the chums who watch this show on a regular basis often hear me say this, but I look at steps like this and doors and I think of all the people that have gone and walked through there, you know, everybody from medieval times, literally through to Georgian, Victorian, Edwardian, and they all think they're in the moment, don't they? And as we do now, we're standing here thinking, well, there'll be nobody after Rose. Of course, life evolves. And what's interesting when you look at particularly royal history, you would have thought, well, this particular reigning monarch, Queen Victoria, has a lot to answer for. You see, back in the day of the Victorians, in particular the Georgians, and it went more so into the Edwardians, that really, when monarchs turned up, they didn't necessarily expect to pay for anything. Now you might say that's very much the same today, but of course most of that is wrapped up in charity, that type of thing. It's not like it is, for instance, you know, back then. Now in 1854, Queen Victoria came to York. Oh yes, and this was a big event, as you can imagine. Now you also have to imagine her travelling from London, as she did on a regular basis, up to her beloved Balmoral. And again, I look at Balmoral, and I've filmed up there many times, and you think, wow, she was a groundbreaker. That was their sort of private home, and she wanted to go up there as much as possible. You think about it today, right, chums? You get on a thing from King's Cross in London, and within a couple of hours, you're in that beautiful land that is Scotland. And then, of course, the short drive to Balmoral. But back then, this was an expedition. And it wasn't just, of course, Queen Victoria and Albert and all of the children. Oh no, this was the servants, of course, the people coming up, the assistants, the ladies in waiting. So in order to alleviate the problem, they decided to stay off at the Station Hotel in York. Going quite well. Of course, they'd been warned in advance, the very best suites, the food, the rooms were heated. Every possible thing that Queen Victoria could have wanted happened and did. Apart from the fact that on the very day in 1854 that Prince Albert and Queen Victoria decided to dine in the restaurant for a late luncheon. Well, it was all going well. The food was very much praised. The chef was brought out, and yeah, marvellous. Thank you very much. Just as they were about to sort of retire and have a little afternoon nap before to continue their journey, the terrible thing happened. Yes, how could it? But it did. Somebody presented Queen Victoria with the bill for luncheon. I don't know about you, I find this quite funny because obviously maybe it was done in reality, maybe it was done the fact that nobody knew the royal protocol, and apparently Queen Victoria literally blew a gasket, as you can imagine. Prince Albert suggested that in fact they paid the bill because even he foresaw that this could be seen as bad publicity. Eventually it was smoothed over by the manager who came out offering profuse apologies and all that sort of stuff. But it became sort of folklore that Queen Victoria basically said that she would never step in York again because she'd never been so insulted as to be presented with a bill for luncheon. I know the feeling, Mum. But the thing is, that's why I bring my own flask and Marmite and cheese sandwiches. You've got to. You don't want these embarrassing situations. But as I say, York has got lots and lots and lots of royal associations. And just to be clear, I'm not being paid. I'm not an ambassador. I'm simply just bringing it to you, hopefully, so for some enjoyment, because a lot of people say, oh, you're being paid to plug. I'm not. I just like to share things, and then, you see things for yourself. And as I say, look at these doors. What's gone on in there, including, of course, a royal wedding, let's not forget that, which brought a lot of prestige to this wonderful city. And of course, in more modern times, the most famous person, I would say, that many people associate with York is none other than the actress Dame Judi Dench. And she has her own, well, less than prestigious, should we say, walkway named after her. Perhaps maybe something a little bit more appropriate for a wonderful dame of the theatre. Neil Sean in the very heart of York.